Now, Count on 2, live and local in the Lowcountry. This is News 2 Today.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Today is Sunday, November 25th. I'm Temple Ricky. We're going to go ahead and check in with our morning meteorologist, Josh Marthers, with your first check at this weekend's forecast. Good morning, Josh.
Hey, Temple. Good morning. Hope everybody's having a great start to their day. Let's get your Sunday going. We've got some coastal flooding concerns once again, and you can see a live look here from our Shem Creek cam on top of Saltwater Cowboy, showing those water levels rising. The marsh is filling up nicely once again this morning, but you notice it's nothing like what we had yesterday at this time, which is some great news. It's 48 degrees with a mostly cloudy sky right now overhead, and those clouds are going to hold for about another hour or so before we start to see some sunshine. There's that coastal flood advisory. Notice yesterday it was a coastal flood warning, meaning a more severe coastal flooding event. Today, there still will be some water on the roadways, and there probably will be some street closures for the next couple of hours for many of us, especially in downtown Charleston and out along the immediate coastline. But it will not be as bad as yesterday. High tide at 9:03 in Charleston Harbor. It's 43 right now in Kingstree. We're knocking on the door of 50 at the Charleston Metro right now. It's 50 on Folly Beach, 49 Edisto Beach, and 45 in both Moncks Corner and Walterboro. Here's a look ahead at the Lowcountry's planning forecast for today. We'll be in the low to mid 50s here through the 9 o'clock hour, rising into the low to mid 60s by noon. About 67 degrees at 3 p.m., upper 50s at 6, and we'll be in the mid 50s at 9. We do have some changes on the way, with showers becoming likely tomorrow, with high temperatures in the mid to upper 60s and much colder air arriving Tuesday through Thursday. And we're going to be talking about the possibility of frost and freeze concerns here by the middle of the week, Temple. That's something we'll be focusing in on the Lowcountry's only 10-day outlook, coming up in about 15 minutes.
Sounds good. Thank you, Josh. Attorneys have reached a settlement that could wrap up a lengthy lawsuit. It's demanding refunds for South Carolina electric and gas customers after the failed VC Summer nuclear project. A group of SCE&G attorneys have agreed to Dominion Energy's latest proposal to buy the company. Dominion's offer includes a $2 billion credit towards future electric bills, making up for the failed nuclear project. SCE&G has also agreed to pay out the $115 million to sell its real estate, including their downtown offices on Meeting Street. The settlement funds are still subject to court approval. If approved, customers will receive compensation in form of bill credit. In Charleston County, police and sheriff deputies are investigating a homicide off of San Rittenberg Boulevard. According to Charleston Police Department, the call came in around 9:40 last night regarding a weapon incident near the Chuck E. Cheese restaurant. EMS and investigators were on the scene and found an adult male with gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead on scene. As this investigation continues, we'll keep you updated on air and online at counton2.com. And a scary situation in Orangeburg yesterday, where a mall was put on lockdown after a shooting on the property landed with one person in the hospital. Orangeburg Department of Public Safety says it all happened in the parking lot of the Prince of Orange Mall Saturday afternoon. They say two suspects were speaking when the victim started shooting. When the victim was shot, the person was shot in the arm along with stray bullets hitting a nearby SUV. The subject ran into the mall, escaping through different exits. One shopper spoke out about recent mall shootings this weekend.
They shouldn't have to come out here and worry about whether or not they're going to lose their life when they walk outside their cars or when they walk outside of a building that's supposed to be a safe haven.
Those suspects are still on the loose, and police say they are looking for two black males in hoodies. Tomorrow, the Michael Colucci trial will begin. He is accused of killing his wife Sarah back in 2015. Colucci told investigators the death was suicide and that his wife hanged herself with a garden hose. He was arrested in May of 2016. Colucci's attorney, Andy Savage, spoke with us about the case coming up this week.
You'll see next week that when they interview a witness and they find out something that's consistent with their viewpoint, they'll write it up. But when they find things that are inconsistent with their viewpoint, they don't tell anybody. But we've been working pretty hard, and we've interviewed a lot of people who give very favorable testimony to Mr. Colucci that SLED just sort of put on the wayside, didn't tell us about. So it'll be an interesting case. So it's a very serious matter. We're going to take it very seriously, and we're going to fight as hard as we can, be as assertive as we can to ensure that justice is done.
You can count on us to bring you everything you need to know day by day on this case, on air, online, and on our app for smartphones. 2 suspects wanted in a Georgetown carjacking are now in custody after being found in Richland County. Investigators say Demetrius Lamar Jackson and Nautica Morgan carjacked 2 vehicles at a Walgreens. A woman driving a 2014 white Tahoe says a suspect held her at gunpoint, demanding she get out of her car. Police say witnesses saw a second man following the Tahoe in a black Nissan Maxima. That man reportedly attempted to rob a Boost Mobile in Columbia. The suspect fled, was picked up at a gas station, and taken to a hospital where the Richland County Sheriff's Office recovered the 2 vehicles. Morgan and Jackson are being held at the Alvin Glenn Detention Center. And on the West Coast, for all those affected by the Camp Fire in California, the recovery efforts have only just begun. Those residents are desperate to see the damages themselves. Max Resnick reports.
It was like war.
Camp Fire survivor and Paradise evacuee Larry Shade takes us back to his escape 2 weeks ago.
I've seen houses that look like looking at an X-ray that I didn't know existed because they're all covered by brush. Just lit up for like 3 blocks.
Larry's here to get help and to offer some support where he can.
Maybe I could be of help to anybody that truly needs help.
Dozens of families finding refuge in Placer County came to this town hall to hear from state and federal agencies like FEMA about what steps they need to take to move forward.
From what I understand, they're helping, but I haven't seen anything yet.
Jeff Cernelia awaits further direction from FEMA, but what he really wants is to see his home.
We want to go home. Even if home is nothing, we want to go home.
Plans for that journey are still up in the air.
We certainly sympathize with the people and understand their loss, and we want them to have that closure and to get into those areas. They just have to be patient. We will get them there. It's just going to take us some time.
CHP Sergeant Chris Duggar says that between down power lines and fire-weakened power poles and trees, most of the area is still too dangerous for Paradise residents. Families hoping to find some sense of normalcy.
Personally, I'm not looking for fault. I don't really care who's at fault here. That'll come out and everybody else will deal with that. But us here, the families, we just want to go home.
Next on News 2.
A cool and sunny day here in the Lowcountry, a perfect time to get out and enjoy some weekend events. We have a list for you coming up. And right after the break, the Arc of Somerville is hosting the Ugly Sweater 5K Dash. More details coming up next. The Ugly Sweater 5K Dash is happening next weekend, and here with us is Megan Severn from the Arc of Somerville. Thank you for joining us, Megan.
Thanks for having us.
So we're talking about this, and you brought a sweater with you.
Did.
Yeah, go ahead and show that off. If we have any Stranger Things fans in here, it lights up.
It does. It's like a motion sensor.
Now, it's the Ugly Sweater 5K, but do you have to wear a sweater?
You don't have to. This is just something that we're encouraging to get into the holiday spirit. It is our first annual, so we're really excited. We're going to be doing a DIY Santa hat and be giving out an award for the best decorated Santa hat as well.
And it's a 5K run walk, but there's also a mile course if you don't want to do the 5K.
Most definitely, and we're partnering with St. Luke's Lutheran Church for the 1 mile fun run, so they have a lot of fun ideas planned for the kids. And yeah, it's a run walk. It's going to be a sanctioned certified course as well, so if you're an avid runner wanting to improve on your time, come on out. And it is the same course as our Race for the Arc that happens in August.
We were laughing about that earlier. I said my time wouldn't be too good, but everyone should get out and try. And where do all these proceeds go?
So all the proceeds will benefit the ARC. We have been a local Alzheimer's nonprofit for over 23 years. It'll be 23 years in January. But we provide a social respite program for Alzheimer's and dementia family caregivers to give them that break throughout their day, while also keeping their loved one engaged and active. And we do a lot of caregiver resources for them as well.
So the proceeds go there, but how much does it cost to participate in the run?
It is $35 in advance, and then it is $10 for the 1 mile fun run. You can get all that information online at our website, and we'll also be doing day of registration for Friday and Saturday.
And the do-it-yourself Santa hats, do you have any tips to viewers watching? Are you going to be a judge for that?
We might have a guest judge coming out, but it will come with a glittered pen and some iron-on stickies. But yeah, you can deck it out however you would like. We just give you a couple little items.
Okay, and let's run through this real quick. Time, date, where everyone needs to be.
8:45 this Saturday, December 1st, in downtown Somerville, and it's a beautiful historic course. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Come kick off the holiday season and bring your ugly sweaters.
All right, and if they want to register, where can they head to?
They can go to our website, The Ark, www.theark.org.
All right, you guys, you have 1 week to train and knock down these 5K times. We're going to head on over to Josh Marthers with another look at weather. Thank you so much, Megan.
Thank you.
Temple, good morning. We're taking a live look outside right now in Georgetown where it's overcast and even some fog developing this morning. We're also watching those tide levels. Another coastal flood advisory in place through noon today. We'll be back on the other side of the break with a look ahead at the Lowcountry's only 10-day outlook. Good morning, everybody. Coastal flood advisory in place through noontime. High tide was at 9:03 Charleston Harbor. Looks like that we maxed out below the 8-foot stage, 8 feet on the tide gauge. That's when we see major flooding. But moderate flooding is being observed right now in some areas and is still a possibility through noontime. But we're going to start to see those tide levels come down here shortly. You can see the marsh is full. Lots of water in the marsh here on Shem Creek as we're looking away from Saltwater Cowboys to the north. That right there is the Ravenel Bridge. Low clouds, though, obscuring the view of the Double Diamonds this morning. It's 48 degrees right now at Saltwater Cowboys. Elsewhere around the area, low clouds hanging out over downtown Charleston as well. We are at 46 degrees at the Beach Club at the Charleston Harbor Resort and Marina. In your backyard right now, most of us are sitting in the 40s to around 50. Now, once the cloud cover starts to break apart, and it will here in the next couple of hours, we're going to see these temperatures go up fairly quickly. It's 45 right now in Moncks Corner, 50 on Folly Beach. Your planning forecast, once we get toward the middle part of the day, expect intervals of clouds and sunshine, 54 at 10 o'clock. We're up to about 63 at noon. By noontime is when we're going to start to see more and more sunshine. We will actually go mostly sunny, I think, for a time period this afternoon. That will allow us to go into the mid-upper 60s for afternoon highs. Northeast winds at 5 to 10, tipping around a southeast at 5 to 10 by late this afternoon. We're going to see another fairly mild day once the cloud cover breaks, going to about 63 in Moncks Corner, 65 in Somerville, 65 in Mount Pleasant, 63 Georgetown. We'll see mid-60s out on the beaches. Northeast winds at 5 to 10. Those tip around to southeast overnight, and we're going to become mostly cloudy with a risk for showers. About 50 in Moncks Corner for a low, 51 in Somerville. We'll be in the mid-upper 50s out of the beaches from Kiowa over to Sullivan's. Low 50s for the Georgetown County beaches, Pawleys Island, Litchfield, and Murrells Inlet. 53 in Goose Creek. 47, the cold spot we think tomorrow morning in Kingstree, and we'll be in the upper 40s in Walterboro as well. When you start your Monday morning, there could be a few showers out on the Storm Team 2 radar, so check in with us tomorrow morning for weather and traffic together on the 2s. We'll get you out the door, let you know if that's going to slow you down at all for your morning drive, but there will be some isolated showers around. Back toward I-95, we think is the best chance for that tomorrow morning. Then all of us get a risk for showers during the first half of the day before everything clears out by mid to late afternoon, and then much colder air comes into play for Tuesday. We're talking high temperatures near 60 with 30s on the way at night with just a few passing clouds overhead Tuesday. Looking ahead with the Lowcountry's only 10-day outlook showing that high today of 67 down to 53 tonight. 68 tomorrow with showers likely today. Tomorrow pretty much spot on normal for this time of year with highs in the mid to upper 60s. A big shot of cold air coming in though for the first part of next week or the middle part of next week with highs in the mid to upper 50s on the way for Wednesday and Thursday. And look at those overnight lows down into the 30s, well into the 30s. And remember, this is for the realistically for the Charleston International Airport where the records are kept. That means outside of town, we're going to see the overnight lows much colder than that, potentially as low as mid and upper 20s across parts of Williamsburg County, Berkeley County, and interior Dorchester and Colleton County. That would be most likely Wednesday night into Thursday before we start a warming trend for next weekend. Highs back into the 60s and low 70s by Saturday and Sunday.
Thank you, Josh. It sounds like it's going to be a great day to get outside and go explore. Let's take a look at some weekend events going on right here in the Lowcountry. Up first, Fresh Fields Village is inviting you to get into the holiday spirit. Santa Claus is coming to town. All guests will receive one free photo per family, and today is Santa Paws Sunday, so you can also receive a free pet photo with Santa as well. Donations will be accepted on behalf of the Charleston Animal Society. Santa will be there from 1 to 6. And an opportunity to work off some of that turkey from Thanksgiving. Johns Island Ultimate Frisbee Group is hosting a pickup game at the Hot Gap Middle School today. Now the group says bring a light and dark t-shirt so they can distinguish between two different teams. $5 will be available if you want a discounted beer, and just be ready to have a good time. And if Frisbee isn't quite your thing, you can head on over to the South Carolina Aquarium, where Scuba Claus will make his return to the Great Ocean Tank. Daily dive shows will be held from 11 to 3 and will feature Scuba Claus or one of his merry elves. Guests can watch their favorite friends from the North Pole take a dive during the interactive show. South Carolina Aquarium members will receive 25% off their tickets. Last but certainly not least, Palmetto Carriage Works is hosting its annual Stuff a Carriage campaign. This is all part of an effort to collect toys for children in need. Free carriage rides will be given in exchange for a new unwrapped toy. Tours will run from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and last year the company gave 200 free rides and collected nearly 300 toys.
Next on News 2.
The biggest game in the state. News 2's Brianne Welsh has a recap of the Palmetto Bowl coming up next.
This is the Palmetto Ford Truck World Sports Desk. Come in. You'll get the best total deal on the new Ford F-150 and Super Duty.
The first half of the Palmetto Bowl did not disappoint. It's definitely not what we expected, and it's not what the experts expected either. South Carolina and Clemson hanging in there together, offensively going back and forth. These first half highlights were something to behold, so let's take a look at some of the action from the first half. Things got going in a hurry for the Gamecocks. Jake Bentley fires one to Shi Smith, who had a big day. We'll see more from him coming up later on. On that same drive for the Gamecocks, Bentley to, guess who? Debo Samuel in for the touchdown, 7-0. Gamecocks take the quick lead early on in this one. But what's going to be the theme of the day is how back and forth this is. Clemson, another touchdown. Very quick, we are tied up 7-7. Tigers on third down. Trevor Lawrence with the QB keeper runs it on in for the first down, giving his team in good field position. Later in that drive, Trevor Lawrence to T. Higgins over the middle. It's 14-7. Tigers take their first lead of the game. Gamecocks then drive all the way down the field. They go for it on 4th and goal, but the pass to Brian Edwards is incomplete. Tigers take over on downs. How about another great connection from Trevor Lawrence to Tia Higgins for, yes, good field position. And then we've got a fun touchdown. They tried it once, didn't work. Do it right again the second time. Christian Wilkins leaping in for the touchdown, 21-7 Tigers. Wilkins did do a little celebration, gets a penalty, but he did the Heisman there in the end zone. Got to have a little fun. But it's the Gamecocks' turn to answer. Jake Bentley, a long pass to Gale Pollard for the touchdown, and it's 21-14. Gamecocks still in this thing. But again, Clemson answering right back with a touchdown of their own. This one a rushing touchdown, 28-14. And then another very long, much longer touchdown pass. Jake Bentley to Debo Samuel. Kind of walks it in for the touchdown, 28-21. That was right after the kickoff after Clemson's touchdown. Pretty much to end the first half, Jake Bentley throws an interception, but going into halftime, we are 28-21, a very close rivalry game. What you'd hope to see, not what you'd expect to see this year between Clemson and South Carolina. At Death Valley, Brianne Welch, News 2 Sports.
In studio with us is Sarah Reynolds from Charleston County Parks and Rec. And Sarah, there are so many holiday themes coming up. I don't even know what to start with.
Yes.
Well, we talked about the Festival of Lights.
Yes.
And you said there's a ton going on with this, so give me a quick rundown of what's happening.
So the Holiday Festival of Lights, if you haven't been before, it begins with a 3-mile drive through an estimated 2 million lights, or over 750 light displays out at James Island County Park. So it's a really unique event. We actually have designed a lot of the light displays on site in the park, so they're themed after a lot of Lowcountry iconic things that you'll see throughout the Lowcountry, like the Ravenel Bridge and all kinds of great light displays out there. And then there are places where you can park the car and get out and do other activities like marshmallow roasting, like you just saw, gift shops. We have a train that goes through a lot of the light displays. You can see other lights on foot. So there's really a lot to do at the festival. And then coming up on this Wednesday, November 28th, we'll have a yoga program going on. in the meadow out there.
And you said there's a ton with the Festival of Lights, yoga, and then you're going to have fireworks a little bit later?
Yes. So on select nights we have special events. We might have like live music one night. So December 31st we'll have fireworks to kind of kick off the new year. That'll be at a little early at 9 p.m. So if you're looking for something to do for the New Year's, that's a great one. And then this Wednesday we'll have the yoga. It's a flowing yoga program. It's an additional fee, but it's hosted by a great instructor named Ji Huang. It'll be a flowing yoga program under the lights, so you can kind of you can bring the family and do a yoga program and then do the lights, and it's a really great addition to the festival.
And with the lights, you said if people come and bring something, they can get some discounted prices.
Yes, that's Monday through Thursday. If you bring a canned food item for donation to the Low Country Food Bank, you'll get $5 off your admission fee. And admission is just $20 per vehicle, and it covers your vehicle of up to 15 people.
And I have a whole list of events that are coming up in December. Visits with Mrs. Claus, Low Country, like brass performances. What else is coming up that we can expect?
Some other great things that we have going on at the county parks. We have a holiday hoedown on December 6th. That's at Wanamaker County Park. It's for people with special needs and their friends and families and caregivers. It's like a holiday party. And then coming up on December 8th, out at the Mount Pleasant Pier, we'll be hosting a viewing party for the holiday parade of boats. And that's called Shuckin' on the Cooper. And we'll have oysters for sale. There'll be live music, and it's a great spot to see the parade of boats. So we have a lot going on at the county parks if you're looking for something to do. Yeah.
And what's the next event? So we talked a lot about the future, but what's the next thing people can expect?
Well, the Holiday Festival of Lights will be going on through the end of the year. We'll be having some races coming up. We have a duathlon coming up in January. We're partnering with Save the Light to do the Save the Light Half Marathon February 2nd, so all kinds of great stuff, yeah.
All right, you guys, she gave you a full list. Thank you, Sarah, so much for being with us today. We're going to go ahead and come right back after this break.
Now, Count on 2, live and local in the Low Country. This is News 2 Today.
Thank you so much for sticking with us this second half hour. I'm Temple Rickey in the Weather Center with meteorologist Josh Marthers.
Morning.
Good morning.
A little bit of flooding to deal with again
A little bit of flooding. We should probably talk about that.
Not as bad as yesterday, though, which is the good news. Let's show you what's going on right now as we take a live look outside at Shem Creek. You know, this time yesterday, we had water up over the boardwalk there at the Shem Creek Park. Today, not the case. We're seeing tide levels running about a foot lower than what we had yesterday, which is great news. Now, we still have multiple road closures and street flooding going on in downtown Charleston right now and out on the Barrier Islands and parts of Mount Pleasant as well. But for the most part, it's not as bad as it was this time yesterday. But that coastal flood advisory is in place through noon, and the worst of this through 10 a.m. Our high tide was at 9:03, so we're now starting to see tide levels drop across the Charleston metro. Still seeing it come in parts of the coastline too, because you got to remember just because of where you are on the coast and where you are in relation to certain tidal creeks and rivers, your tide time is going to vary a bit from Charleston Harbor. It's 49 right now at Edisto Beach, 47 in Somerville, 49 in Goose Creek, and 48 in Mount Pleasant. We're starting to see some signs that the clouds are beginning to thin a bit. That'll take us to around 54 at 10 a.m., up to 63 at noon, and we'll be mostly sunny this afternoon at 2 and 4 under a mainly sunny sky before temperatures dip back down into the 50s tonight with another round of increasing cloud cover by tomorrow morning and a chance for rain for Monday. It's going to be mild again, though, with highs in the mid to upper 60s, but much colder air arrives Tuesday through Thursday with a possibility of frost and freeze conditions. We'll talk more about that in the Low Country's only 10-day outlook coming up in 15 minutes.
All right, thank you, Josh. Well, President Trump tweeted Saturday night that migrants at the southern border will not be allowed into the U.S. until their claims are individually approved in court. President Trump declared that all those who are detained will remain in Mexico, and if necessary, the southern border will be closed. Two administration officials told NBC that the Trump administration and Mexico's recently elected government created a plan called Remain in Mexico, and it is to be considered a short-term solution. However, a spokesperson with the incoming Mexican president denied any such agreement and insisted talks were a premature deal. And investigators are trying to figure out how to find and recover the body of American missionary John Chow. And who else might have been involved in a fatal mission on an island that was off limits to protect outsiders in the tribe who have no immunity to modern diseases? NBC's Lucy Kavanaugh reports.
Today, this remote island in the Indian Ocean is the focus of an investigation. Where is American missionary John Chau's body? This morning, 7 people, including fishermen accused of taking him there, are under arrest. More may be under suspicion. Chau was no stranger to exotic adventures, but his trip to North Sentinel Island in the Andaman Sea was both perilous and illegal. The endangered tribe that lives there, the Sentinelese, have kept their way of life for centuries, rejecting contact with a modern world, known for attacking outsiders. Chau's trip there, against the law.
This was a dangerous trip both for the missionary and the tribe.
It was incredibly dangerous for him and foolhardy thing to have done, but even more dangerous for the Sentinelese themselves. They are the most isolated tribe on Earth, so they're the most vulnerable in terms of a lack of immunity to common diseases like flu and measles that will decimate a tribe.
Journal entries from Chau's last days show that he was well aware of the danger, writing, "I'm scared. If you want me to get actually shot or even killed with an arrow, then so be it. I don't want to die." In another entry, he describes being shot at with bow and arrow, which pierced his Bible, writing, "Why did a little kid have to shoot me today? His high-pitched voice still lingers in my head." And a final message to family. Please do not be angry at them or at God if I get killed. Don't retrieve my body.
Police have sent a second boat near that remote island on Friday with 2 of the arrested men, helping them piece together Chau's itinerary as well as his final moments. But Indian authorities will not be sending anyone on shore to actually question this endangered tribe. That's just too risky for everyone involved. Lucy Kafanov, NBC News, London.
And in health news, nearly a third of parents say that their child will not get the flu shot. That is according to a new poll from the University of Michigan. Nearly 40% of parents say they make their decision based on what they read or hear. Now, these parents are also less likely to have their child vaccinated compared to parents who follow their doctor's recommendation. All children 6 months and older are urged to get the flu shot. Approximately 80,000 people died from the flu last season, including 180 children. Less than 60% of those kids received the flu shot. In South Carolina, 289 people died last flu season, 3 of them under the age of 18. And this week in South Carolina, 16 people were hospitalized with the flu, bringing the season total to 63. The first flu death was reported this week in South Carolina, and while activity is still classified as low in the state, health experts are urging people to take preventative measures and get vaccinated. And caught on camera, thieves used a stolen pickup truck to ram a store 4 times and try and steal an ATM machine. Security footage that you're looking at right now, this Family Dollar store in Town North, South Carolina, shows the stolen truck backing into the front of the store. Police say they were trying to detach the ATM machine from the floor in the store, but they eventually gave up. There have been no arrests. And a consumer alert for you as so many people are hitting the road for the holidays. A growing scam at gas station. Drivers filling up and their credit card information getting swiped by thieves. NBC's Tammy Leitner has the latest.
More than 29 million people buy gas with a credit or debit card every day. Many of those paying at the pump unaware that these small skimmers could be hidden inside and stealing your credit card information.
This is your typical skimmer.
It happened to Stephen Plake in Texas.
I ended up seeing charges on my bank account that I knew I didn't charge.
Texas and Florida are hot spots for the crime. These 2 thieves caught in the act at a Florida gas station. Boca Raton officer Jessica Tizier says it's a high-tech scam.
This little device can steal your information like that. And it's all transmitted through Bluetooth.
It's so easy.
The Secret Service already finding more than 200 skimmers at pumps across the nation this holiday season.
The skilled guys can do it in 20 or 30 seconds.
Travelers on alert.
I'm very cautious about those kinds of things because we work really hard for our money.
Police recommend paying in cash or inside with a credit card and advise choosing a pump closest to the store. All tips that could save you from getting scammed this holiday season. Tammy Leitner, NBC News, Miami.
And the ringing of bells, which means the holiday shopping season is here. The iconic sound of the Salvation Army bells is more than 100 years old. But the largest nonprofit fundraising campaign in the nation isn't taking in what it used to. The parent organization hasn't pegged a cause, but volunteers think they know why.
A lot of people walk by saying, I don't carry cash anymore.
Problem.
Yeah, it's a problem for us, that's for sure.
And the Salvation Army has tried credit card readers in the past, but people didn't use them. Now the bell ringers are handing out cards with a website printed on them to people who are carrying only plastic but still want to donate.
Next on News 2.
It's a tradition in New York that so many travel to see, the Rockettes Christmas Spectacular. But what new addition to the show is making it more special this year? We have a preview when we come back. And the first ever Low Country Christmas Extravaganza is happening next weekend. We have all those details coming up next. Radio City Music Hall, where Christmas comes to life every year for decades. But this year, the Rockettes have a show that has helped usher in the holidays for generations. NBC's Joe Fryer reports.
The Radio City Rockettes are a time-honored tradition, but this year you can see them in a whole new light. Make that 100 lights, each hovering above, attached to a drone.
The drones are like your new dance partner,
They
right?
are our new dance partner. So we dance with each other on stage, and then we have a friend above our head.
It's all part of a new finale added to the Rockettes' iconic Christmas Spectacular.
I love that there's like a little breeze above our head at the end of the finale, which is really nice.
The Rockettes have been doing the Christmas Spectacular on this stage since 1933, but the drones and other elements add a new twist to this holiday tradition.
This is back to the drawing board, starting from scratch. So it's a whole new idea.
Dancing drones are popping up all over, like at this year's Winter Olympics. Those drones were created by Intel, which developed smaller ones that are used by the Rockettes.
It's a fraction of the size, fraction of the weight. You can see it fits in the palm of my hand.
On top of that, a company called Obscura Digital is projecting images on the walls and ceiling of this cavernous space.
We are wrapping and gift wrapping Radio City Music Hall.
The goal is to create an immersive experience, giving the Rockettes an extra kick. Joe Fryer, NBC News, New York.
And continuing the Christmas festivities a little closer to home, Yonder Field is hosting its first ever Low Country Christmas Extravaganza. This will be next weekend, and here in studio to tell us all about it is Stacy Darr. Stacy, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having us here.
All right, so tell us exactly what this is. It's the first year for it, so I'm sure you're expecting a lot of fun.
It is. Well, it's a partnership with the Orangeburg County Library. So we're really great to have an opportunity to work with them. They have a project underway to build a new library in the coming years, so it's really great opportunity to shine a light on the programming that they do and to really do a true Christmas festival. I'm a big fan of the Christmas markets that happen in Europe, so hopefully this is a small version of that that can grow over the years, but we have lots of rides that we're going to be doing for kids and different crafts and things, so we're really trying to put together a program that really speaks to the community and will bring everybody out.
So rides, festivities, a lot of fun. Can you be more specific on what people can expect when they get there?
Sure. So we have some amusement rides like a Ferris wheel and a giant slide for kids, which are, you know, the bigger kids really like that, but it's really good for all ages. And then for the smaller kids, for 4 years and under, we have some jump castles and some more appropriate things for their age. And then we have 10 different craft stations where kids can build like really great the kind of crafts that you would keep year after year from good memories, like stockings and tote bag stenciling and cookie baking and all kinds of things. You name it, we're probably going to have it.
All things perfect for the holidays coming up. And you said this is the first year, so what kind of got the wheels spinning on this project?
Well, like I said, I've always really loved Christmas markets. I think it's something that really speaks to everybody. I have a 5-year-old son myself who really not only loves Christmas, but loves going to, say, a county fair or an event or something like that. So we really wanted to build a program that would bring everybody out, the entire community. It's very family friendly. We have lots of local schools are going to be there performing. Orangeburg Wilkinson High School Marching Band, as well as their chorus, will be there, and some local dance teams, and some folks from SC State as well. So we really tried to put together a full day of programming. So there's a little something for everybody to really get into the holiday spirit.
And when and where is this all happening?
Well, it's happening at Yonder Field, and it's next Sunday, December 2nd. It's going to be from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. And Yonder Field is located just north of the 9526 interchange near Orangeburg.
And real quickly, if people want to go, do they need to buy a ticket? Is this something you need to do in advance?
Well, you can buy wristbands on site that give you access to all of the activities, but it's free admission. So if you want to come in and see all the craft vendors that will be there as well, we have vendors both from Charleston, Columbia, and from the local Orangeburg area. That's free. The great programming is free. And then we have really great light displays and just beautiful Christmas decorations in our pavilion.
All right, Stacy, well, that sounds great. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Temple.
We'll be back right after this.
Good morning. It is 9:48. Coastal flood advisory continuing through noon. We saw our high tide at 9:03 this morning, so we're now past that, but still some moderate flooding possible here over the next hour or two along the coast. The water levels peaked lower this morning than they did yesterday by about a foot, which is great news. Right now, Shem Creek, we're starting to see a few peaks of blue sky here, and that's what we expected. After 9 a.m. and before 10, we thought there'd be a little bit more sunshine, and sure enough, here it comes. Temperatures across the area right now still in the 40s to around 50, but once that sun starts to heat us up, it won't take us long to get back into the 60s, and we should be there by lunchtime. Right now, in your backyard, it's 49 at Edisto Beach, 48 Johns Island, up to 52 now on Folly, 50 in Mount Pleasant, it's 45 in Georgetown, 47 in Moncks Corner, 43 in Kingstree, and 45 in Walterboro. Here's your planning forecast for today. Look for intervals of clouds and sunshine as we head through the afternoon hours. Northeast winds at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Those will tip around to southeast by sunset. We'll be at 54 by 10 o'clock, 63 degrees at noontime, mid and upper 60s this afternoon under a mostly sunny sky, I think, for a good part of the afternoon, at least 2 to 4 hours of mostly sunny skies before the clouds start to roll in again for tonight. We'll make it to 67 in Goose Creek today, 64 in Walterboro, 66 Kiowa, 64 McClellanville, 62 on Pawleys Island. That northeast wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour will keep us a little bit cooler than yesterday, but not by much. I think most of us are going to easily make it into the mid-upper 60s. Now tonight, the clouds increase again, and that's ahead of a cold front. And by tomorrow morning when you wake up, there could be a few showers around. Temperatures generally around 50 to the low 50s inland, mid and upper 50s closer to the coastline. Our high-resolution forecast model showing some scattered showers around for your morning drive tomorrow. So check in with us on News 2 today for weather and traffic together on the 2s tomorrow morning starting at 4:30 a.m. We'll get you out the door and let you know if any of those rain chances are going to slow you down for the first part of your day. I think the best chance for showers coming in after the sun comes up, and then that goes through the middle part of the day. Then we clear things out tomorrow afternoon and cool things off in a big way down into the 30s to low 40s when you wake up Tuesday morning. Then much cooler during the day Tuesday with highs only around 60, and even Tuesday night we're dipping down well into the 30s. I think we're going to take 30s all the way to the beaches for the middle part of next week. And looking ahead at the Low Country's only 10-day outlook, you'll see that we're going to be near normal today and tomorrow in the mid to upper 60s. There's that rain chance tomorrow. Then as we head into the middle part of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, look how chilly it gets. Highs only in the mid 50s to around 60, and there will be days where we don't make it to 60 next week, with overnight lows down into the 30s. Friday around 64. We start to rebound into next weekend with highs near 70 to the low 70s Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And we'll also throw in a risk for a shower by the end of next weekend. On the beaches, about 66 today, 66 tomorrow, near 60 Tuesday, only in the mid to upper 50s Wednesday and Thursday. And look at that. Wednesday night, we're back down into the 30s once again. It's going to be a little on the chilly side as we head toward the middle part of next week. Again, as we're taking 30s all the way to the beaches for the middle of next week. And that rain chance comes up once again, or middle of this week, I should say. It is Sunday. I keep thinking for some reason it's Saturday. And then by next weekend, we're going to be back into the mid-upper 60s with highs and lows in the 50s and a slight chance of rain next Sunday into Monday.
Thank you, Josh. The Charleston Parks Conservancy is gearing up for their holiday festivities. Here with us in studio is Megan Mills. And Megan, the tree lighting at Colonial Lake is taking place soon.
Yes, it's coming up this coming Friday, which is November 30th. It's from 5:30 to 7:30. We're going to have a lot of kids events. We're going to have food trucks, and we're going to light the lake at Colonial Lake.
And what can people expect? How big of a light display is this?
Yep, it's just the tree lighting in the center of the lake. So we light that around 6:15, but there's a lot of kids activities. There's cookie decorating. There's a DJ playing Christmas carols. We have an ugly sweater contest. So just a lot of fun things happening.
I read that there were food trucks going to be there. So lots of food, lots of fun. And then it did say to wear red and green. Is that for the sweater contest?
Exactly. It's also for the sweater contest, and it's also we're having family photos taken at a carriage, so right out the corner of the lake, so you can come get your holiday photo taken. So it's great for the family.
And is this a free event with the free photos, free food, or what's going on?
Yep, completely free event from 5:30 to 7:30, so lots of fun activities.
And you mentioned you have another pretty cool event coming up later in December. Let's go ahead and talk about that.
We do. On December 14th, so that's a Friday, we're having a movie night at Hampton Park. So in the park from 4:30 to 7:30. We're voting right now, so you can go on our Facebook page and vote for your favorite movie. It's Santa Claus, A Christmas Story, and A Muppets Christmas Carol. So a couple of fun movies to vote for.
Do you have a favorite out of those three?
I have a favorite. I'm going for The Muppets Christmas Carol, but some of my colleagues are going for Santa Claus, so there's a lot of different movies to vote for.
And if people do want to head on over to that poll and utilize it, what's the Facebook page they can go to?
Yep, it's the Charleston Parks Conservancy. So you can also go to our website, which is charlestonparksconservancy.org.
So a lot of fun events coming up, and just one more time, give us the days and the times for the Christmas tree lighting.
Exactly. The Christmas tree lighting is from November 30th from 5:30 to 7:30, and then the movie night is Friday, December 14th from 4:30 to 7:30.
All right, well, thank you so much for being here.
Yes,
we'll be right back after this. All right, Josh, you have to get a load of this story. It's not your ordinary intruder at a California highway patrol. Now, faculty gave officers a scare last week, but the culprit wasn't arrested. The suspect in question was a bear who made his way into the building. The bear first takes a peek inside the building and then opens up the door to go inside. But eventually the bear walked out and was followed by 2 armed officers. Did you know that a bear could open up doors?
Yes.
I had no idea. I learn something new every day.
Makes you think about it, huh? Next time you're up in the mountains.
Well, I wonder if he can talk about the weather as well as you can.
You know what? There are some folks that believe they know. Who knows? We'll see what's going on out there right now. Mid and upper 60s, a mix of sun and clouds, low 50s tonight, upper 60s tomorrow, very close to normal. Again, coastal flood advisory through the middle part of the day today, but it looks like things are starting to get better as water levels are coming down as we move away from high tide. Get ready for a chilly middle part of the week, though.
Oh, I don't like to hear that. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Josh?
We'll see you in the morning, 4:30 a.m. Join us on News 2 Today.